What up, y'all? Culture Crooks podcast live from Palmdale, California.
Another one.
Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez and the homie Sasha Guaylo Palatnikov back in the house. It's been a while since we dropped our last episode, but we back.
For sure. Last time we spoke to you guys, we were in New York. A lot has happened since then. But now, I was blessed to be able to have the opportunity to come and see the homies' hometown, come out to LA, check out the new crib.
Yep. Before we get started on everything, congratulations to the homie Sasha for his big win at Karate Combat last weekend. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about your experience with Karate Combat, and to the people who don't know, tell us about Karate Combat, and it seems to be taking off, man. Let me know.
Yeah, bro, it was a cool experience. I fought last Saturday in Orlando, and it was a whole new experience. Having fought multiple combat sports in my life, this was definitely like a unique one, one of a kind. The promotion was run amazingly. The people, the staff, everyone involved did an amazing job, and it was just super fun. I had a good time. I was excited. It was something different, and went out there and got a good result.
Yeah, tell us about your matchup. Where was the guy? Who's the guy? Where's he from?
So I fought a guy named Rob Buxton. He's Canadian. He's got a pretty extensive amateur background in like kickboxing and karate. When like going and competing at world championships, I believe he medaled in a couple of competitions at the world championship. So I definitely knew, it wasn't going to be a complete scrub walkover. I knew I was going to get a tough, motivated individual, but I just felt like training with this fool, training with all the people that I've trained my whole life, and just the level that I train at and work at, I felt like I was going to,
Now,
make work.
Yeah, Karate Combat seemed like a whole different new outlet for karate, and it's stars in the game. For the most part, it's only been like the Olympics, where karate, you really see karate shining.
Yeah, I mean they're like a relatively new show, maybe like 2-3 years old, but you can see they're growing a lot, and like the production, the fans, just everything that was going on with the show were like top of the line. So I'm just really excited to get back in there as soon as possible.
What are some of the rules as in comparison to traditional like kickboxing or
for sure
Muay Thai?
Yeah, so with Karate Combat, the first thing is you can't clinch, you can't grab. So you're allowed to frame and like push off, but there's no like physical grabbing. They don't want any grabbing, any clinch work.
No grappling at all whatsoever.
No grappling whatsoever. You can throw, you can do sweeps like judo trips, sweeps, like little trips like that to get your opponent on the back, and then you have 5 seconds to work ground and pound. But you have to stay on your feet or have one knee down or knee on belly. But definitely no grappling going on. There's no elbows, but all striking techniques, hands, knees, kicks, all that stuff's still there. And then, of course, the cool thing that really makes it exciting is the pit itself. Being able to use that as like, I don't know, a strategy to do crazy shit, jump off the wall.
Yeah, because this kind of has it's like a
slanted.
Yeah, it's kind of slanted, so you could definitely do some moves off of that. One question is, are you able to use that, or is that like an out of bounds kind of deal?
You can use that. So the cool thing with it is, if, for example, you hit someone or push them and they fall into that like slanted wall, they're not grounded until their butt hits the ground and their back is no longer on that wall. So technically speaking, if
you can still hit them,
you can knee them, you can kick them in the face.
I've seen a couple axe kicks been thrown in that situation. How about the main event though?
Bro, that main event was fire.
Yeah,
so like
total complete upset. Everybody expected Raymond Daniels to go out there and do his thing, but that was not
Gaev, man. Like, so I'm gonna be honest. Like during fight week, like my coach Chris Trammell and I, we were just like, man, this is such a mismatch. Like, Raymond Daniels is going to run through a Gaev. Like, it's just not on the same level. And then after watching that fight, I was super impressed with the Gaev. Like, that dude's a stud. Super tiny guy, super short, stocky, but super fast. Really, really efficient striker. And, he's a silver medalist at the Olympics. So it clearly showed. It was dope.
That was dope. That was dope to see. I wasn't able to make it out. Had some, things going down over here, but as well in sports, speaking of strikers, how about the World Cup, man? Argentina,
Mr. Messi,
he's taking it, and I hear this is his last appearance in the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, the goal was for him to become like the GOAT. All he needed was to win a World Cup, so he did it. So that was pretty cool. Going into this tournament, I had like Argentina as like my second pick. I went with Brazil. I thought Brazil were gonna win it all. Obviously, it wasn't correct, but
I always go for Mexico.
Mexico didn't have a great outing this year at the World Cup, that's for sure.
Nah.
But it was, overall, like I thought it was an all right World Cup. I didn't think it was like how it usually is, like, during the summer, it just seems to be more hype.
Yeah.
Like this one was kind of low key, but it was cool. Won some money betting, definitely came out on top in that regard. So, that's cool. Now we got club football, club soccer coming back, Premier League, all that stuff's coming in the new year. So
Yeah.
definitely keep an
Who
eye
are
out.
some of the top teams to keep an eye on for the Premier League
Premier League,
coming up season?
with
all like lots of changes in the Premier League this year.
no, for sure. I mean, we got like the top two, Liverpool, Man City. They seem to be like killing it. But you got teams like Tottenham and Arsenal and Manchester United, like hopefully making a push. Arsenal are top of the league at the moment, so it's always like we'll see how the teams come back after this long break. But it'll be interesting. I'm obviously, if you guys didn't know, I'm a big fan, so I'm gonna be tuning in, trying to make some money, try to throw some bets that way, and stay tuned because I'm gonna be trying to put out a little bit more information for you guys. Hopefully, we can all make some money together. But yeah, World Cup was dope, and let's get it going for the new year. Let's
And
make that money.
we'll definitely be keeping you guys more informed as far as like the betting and odds go. With that coming in the next coming up episodes and shit, we're just like there's obviously a break in the UFC for a while. You won't be any events coming up anytime soon, so we'll be keeping you informed with everything else as far as the worldwide sports go.
I think the only like real MMA thing that's like that we're looking forward to is maybe New Year's Eve when they fight Bellator Japan, like Bellator and Ryzen. They do like the New Year's Eve card.
Oh wow, they're gonna be competing versus like the Bellator
Yeah,
fighters
Ryzen
versus
versus they've done that a couple years.
under what
It's
rules?
Ryzen, yeah,
Ryzen
in the
rules?
Ryzen ring in Japan.
That'd be cool.
It's super cool. Like it's gonna be cool. And
Speaking of exciting upcoming matchups, how about Tito Ortiz calling out the homie Big Boy in a boxing match?
I didn't anticipate that. I
don't think anybody did. I think a lot of us anticipated Big Boy possibly making some kind of jump towards mixed combat sports, seeing as how, he carries himself on social media with, we've all seen him hit pads and like he looks like he's really explosive for a big ass dude.
big fella.
Yeah, he's a big
fella.
dude. I've had the opportunity to meet him a few times, a bunch of times in person, and I'm excited to see how he does in mixed martial arts or in boxing, whatever he chooses, is the route. It's definitely a lot of money to be made.
For sure. I mean,
And versus legend and Tito Ortiz, that's a pretty solid name.
the funny thing is I suppose Tito was really looking to fight Chael Sonnen in a boxing match, which in my opinion would make more sense. But then somehow he ended up calling out Big Boy, and I think personally, I don't think he should have done that.
Yeah, it's
I
a
feel
horrible matchup
Yeah.
for Tito. I could see Tito getting
knocked out.
knocked out. A lot of people might question Big Boy's cardio or ability, but man, I see some of the shit that he posts on social media. He's fucking
He's like a freak,
in the
bro.
bleachers. He's like doing super explosive shit, and I think that guy could probably generate so much power. He won't even fucking need cardio.
3 minutes. He ain't wrestling.
Yeah, a couple haymakers to anybody, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck this."
Dude's walking
bro.
around like 280, right? And
Yeah,
he's like
he's
such
huge.
a beast. So it's
Yeah.
like Tito is no way near that kind of size and power
Yeah.
and strength and
I feel like
age.
Big Boy's like a primed athlete.
He's like a football player. He's like, he's ready to go. And he's not an old guy. Like, he's like in his prime, I feel like. So it's definitely going to, that's one of those freak show fights that I think will end early, but it'll be a good night, I'm pretty sure, for Big Boy. And I woke up to that news and didn't expect it. But, that's the fight game. You just never know what you're going to get. And that's.
Dog. Another news, Mike Jackson
Yeah.
versus
Jake Shields.
Jake Shields went down in
At the PI.
at the UFC PI in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so here's like the rundown from like how that escalated. So Mike Jackson was making racist comments on Twitter, or at least saying that Jake Shields was a Nazi, a white supremacist. And
Wow.
for those of you who don't know Jake, I've met him before.
Yeah, me too. We've hung out a bunch of times.
Yeah, and he's like the furthest thing ever from like a racist or anything of that nature. He's like the nicest
he's
guy,
chill.
very chill. Yeah, very laid back guy from Cali, you know. So it's like for him to be, you know, getting lambasted by another fighter, and talking about a retired fighter too, just going after him. And then Jake said, he's like, look, if I ever see you, he's like, I'm gonna make you pay for your words. And that happened at the PI. They were up by the cages, and Jake Shields just, I think he got out of the cage, went up to him, double legged him, mounted him, and just got on top and started bitch slapping him. And you know, Jackson's claiming he was getting punched, but he said, Jake Shields said, look, punches are for men, slaps are for women. So he made sure that he put that emphasis on, you know, slapping him, making him feel like a little bitch. He was, you know, screaming for his life, help me, help me.
I bet, bro.
But now he's trying to go to court.
Well,
trying
the
to sue
thing
him.
that I know about the UFC PI is they have cameras there, so
For
everything
sure.
definitely,
Evidence is all over.
you
for
know.
sure.
And
Well, what's your
That's
view
the-
on that? What's your
that's
view
the
on
thing, man. Look, you can't like Twitter fingers everybody, or you can't troll everybody, dog, because not everybody plays that shit, and especially in mixed martial arts, dog. It's a small world. It's a real small world, especially at the top. So yeah, you talk some shit. Eventually, you're gonna run into people, and some people ain't gonna do nothing about it. Some people might wait for the camera to turn on before they start acting crazy. Some people don't even want the camera on, dog. You know, so yeah, Jake Shields, one of those dudes you don't want to fuck with, you know, because especially if you're Mike Jackson. I mean, come on, bro.
He's a
What
joke.
do you? Yeah,
You know,
you
like-
don't even belong in the UFC.
that? Don't even belong in combat sports. Like, it's a joke that you even got to fight more than once in the UFC. Like, I sparred him one time in Vegas, and
Honestly, he was originally there to fucking
For CM Punk.
CM Punk to like get a win, in my opinion.
Yes,
and
that was
didn't
the
happen.
reason.
And then
And then they
in
stuck
that
around.
other fight where he was getting his ass whooped, and then
he-
some illegal
DQ. I know the guy. Yeah, my buddy
some-
Dean Barry. It
yeah,
was super
He
unfortunate.
won by disqualification. And
Yeah.
like, and I don't know, man. That guy, like, I've seen him in person, and I'm like, that's
I've sparred him.
Like, that's him.
I've sparred him.
Like,
yeah.
and he carries himself like he's fucking top notch.
He thinks
bro.
he's a big dog. He thinks he knows everything. Dude is one of the most incompetent people I've ever met. Not only mentally, but physically as an athlete too. Dude's a joke. Like, he got through a loophole and stuck around and somehow was able to talk about it a bunch. But it's crazy to me how terrible this guy is on and off the mats. So yeah, no, for me and for me personally, like, I made some comments online and I, you know, I think he's a fucking loser, like, straight up. Like, for you to go and now try to sue this dude, like, what are you gonna do? Like there's nothing that's gonna come from it.
Well-
You're gonna waste your money spending it on lawyers, and then it's not even a fact that you're gonna get paid. Like,
Well, he was on the mats, so
I mean, that's the thing. This is gonna be loop de loop, walking
on the
around.
waiver.
Bro, at the end of the
Like,
day, like,
you're on
it's
the
a
mat.
waste of time. It's a waste of time to even contact a lawyer. If that dude is paying money out of his pocket to a lawyer, like, that's a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think it's gonna go very far, because when you're in a gym setting and you're like, when you walk into those doors, you're open to get, like, that's what you're there for.
he's claiming
You know,
he got
this
assaulted.
is that kind of place.
He's claiming he got assaulted. He was there.
How you gonna get assaulted in a gym though? Like,
What's the PI, bro?
yeah,
The USC PI. I mean, it can look.
I don't
We're
know,
biased.
there may be rules about it, shit
For
that-
sure, bro. We're
that
like,
I will
look,
never
we're-
understand.
Exactly. We're not like by law. We're not allowed to go up to
'cause
another
that's,
person.
that's my way of
physically
thinking. I'm
abuse
like, well, he's in the gym. He signed a waiver.
them. No, but again, like, if you can't just assault another man. I know that's the law. Like,
That's just the way I think, though. You know,
bro,
what I mean?
we
That's
think
how-
the same
That's
way,
why I get
bro.
in trouble.
That's why rules are made by pussies to protect pussies. Because hundreds and hundreds of years ago, this shit didn't matter. You know what I mean? It wasn't even an issue.
Yeah.
But now these rules are put in place. But unfortunately, like, everyone, I'm sure, is saying, like, bro, like, Mike Jackson should just be quiet. Go in the corner and be quiet. But look, he will do anything he
You
can.
had to eat your words, bro.
He had to, and he did.
Yeah.
And now he's, like, not only publicly being shamed, I'm hoping, not going to get any money out of this. That would be even better.
Yeah. Just another reason to make him look bad, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
in my opinion,
that's just an unfortunate thing in our sport, you know.
Now you're pressing charges. Now you look like a snitch. Now you're like,
it's not a good look.
Oh man,
it's not a good look. You know,
you suck.
You suck. Yeah, it's just like loser move. But whatever, dude. Whatever you think's gonna help you at the end of the day, I guess go for it. But the rest of the community, the MMA community, is never gonna back that kind of behavior. Just how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm old school with it. You know, if you say some shit, say it to my face. You're gonna hear it. I don't give a fuck about lawyers, nothing. Yeah. You know. And if you really got a problem with me, I'll get in the cage with you. Like, that's even better. We'll sign waivers, come to syndicate, end of story. You know.
Yeah.
But
well, you gotta know. If you try that shit on me, I'm gonna say something.
No, for sure.
Come at you.
Pretty sure most people, unless you got no fucking spine.
Like what?
Like,
or if you're like in my division, whatever, I'll be like, well, let's fight them, whatever, homie. You know?
No, for sure. But to be honest with you, bro, but you also gotta take this into context. Like, most fighters, like real fighters, don't talk shit.
True.
You know, like a lot of us are pretty like when we hang out amongst other fighters, like everyone's pretty cool, man. Like there's no one who's like, oh, I'm this fucking guy, like you don't talk to me. Like everyone is open, chill. Like, you know, Alex Pereira, the middleweight champ, he's super like cool, calm, like, you know, good vibes. Like we're hanging out, all those guys, everyone's just good vibes, you know. Mm-hmm. So for someone to act like that, I get along
with a ton of fucking fighters.
Yeah, I personally have never had like a bad interaction with a fighter. I just see it like we're discussing, you know, like
even like dudes that might seem like assholes on camera and so you see them in person, they're like, hey, what's up, dog?
Yeah. You know? Because really, like, there's no need to be a dick at the end of the day. Like, everyone just wants the same thing. You know, everyone wants to just have good vibes, be positive, and win. Yep. You know? So when you do cross, like,
there's some dudes that are truly sportsmen, you know?
Yeah.
Like myself, like, I'd be cool as hell. I never really had any fucking real beef with my opponents. Even Holland, he talks a lot of this and that, but it's not like, fuck you, I hate you.
Personal.
Yeah, it's like fuck you, I hate you, or no shit like that. It's just like real. It's like we're two athletes at the top of our fucking, you know, shit
at your division,
and the stylistically makes for a great fight. And you know, Holland ain't trying to grapple or no shit like that. He's trying to strike, and I'm one of the top strikers in the world. And I appreciate dude trying to fight me. You know. Makes me feel like, all right, I'm somebody, because he keeps fucking mentioning my name. I must be like a threat or something, dog, you know. But it's a fight, interesting matchup and shit. But you know, but even though all that set aside, when I seen him, it's like whatever, dog. Like, you know, it's like respect, shake hands,
and get on with it. I mean, the whole thing that happened in that fiasco with the fights. I mean, he reached out to you to make sure you were like good and you had a fight.
Yeah.
So that just shows you like there's no like disrespect in that regard. Like in the end of the day, like everybody, like he wants everybody to make money as well. Yeah. You know, and like that's good.
Because I think at this level, and so we've been training for so long, and we know when to turn it up and turn, like, you know, when it's time.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say that I'll never fucking wild out if someone like the whole situation that happened with that last when I fought Lee. I ended up fighting Lee, you know, I was scheduled to fight Holland, and all that shit backstage happened and everything all mixed up.
Yeah.
Like I could never say that I'll never like if an opponent was like all in my grill and trying to like press me or like shit like that I'm not gonna react, you know. But I definitely wouldn't get the whole fight card fucking switched. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on that level.
Yeah, but shit, for the most part, I'll be cool as fuck, dog. You know, and that's how I've been. Even with fucking Perry. Perry was like you know, a little pit bull. He's a little beast, dog. You don't like nobody and shit, dog. And at the end of the day, it was cool and shit. We showed each other respect. We both showed up.
Yep.
You know, I got the best of him that night, and fucking, you know, he was cool as fuck after. He was like, yo, that shit was.
Yeah, he was at Karate Combat on Saturday. Yeah. Nice dude. You know, I gave him bigs. I was like, bro, thank you for beating Michael Venom Page. I was like, and that was sick, you know, in bare knuckle. But
yeah, dog, and he's been
top,
having,
bro. He's a top fighter.
He's been having success outside the UFC, and I like that shit. I like for dudes that I fought to fucking like do good, so that way it makes me look good.
For sure,
for sure. Yeah, I beat that guy.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely.
And he's still killing it.
For sure.
You know, he just beat Michael Venom Page. Fucking, he's been doing his thing in bare knuckle and shit.
That's good. That's what we. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're like your former opponents are winning and doing well, like that just is only a good reflection. You know what I mean? That's what you want. But speaking of other opponents and speaking of some drama, y'all need to be talking about James Krause. He been all up in the news
Oh
lately.
yeah, James Krause in the news now for some suspicious, betting activity. Everybody knows James Krause is a huge, on odds and betting and shit like that, and people.
He made it no secret.
Yeah, it was no secret to that he was like heavy into that and shit. But recently,
there was some controversy with one of his fighters, Derek Minner, fighting I can't even pronounce the dude's name, but dude's from China, Mongolian guy, I think. And like the odds changed significantly, and there was like an undisclosed injury, I guess. And I don't know for a fact if this is what happened, but I'm guessing like the information got out that Minner was injured, like leading up to the fight. And it was funny because we were there. We were literally there while this was all going down. They were like maybe 5 meters away, like getting ready on the mat space.
Oh, was it that same
card on the Magny card? Yeah. Do you remember James Krause was there?
I remember.
So that was like,
and I remember after.
Yeah, that was the day. That was the exact fight that they're investigating, and so basically what happened was, I think the news. So originally the line was plus 300 for the Chinese guy to win by knockout, but then like within an hour before the fight started, tons of money was coming in on the Chinese guy to win by knockout. So the odds lowered to like plus 155, almost cut it in half, which is like, in betting in that time frame, because it's all about numbers and statistics, there are like a lot of red flags. Like, what the hell? Like the betting, all the people, the companies, and then that's why the FBI is coming in. They're like, there's some maybe some fight fixing, maybe some kind of bullshit going on, because this doesn't happen. Like, it just doesn't happen. So the fact that it did happen has now like opened the doors for investigations. 2 places in Canada, Alberta, Ontario, no longer allow UFC betting because they're saying it's not trustworthy. New Jersey doesn't allow any James Krause fighters or James Krause is banned. And then in Vegas, James Krause is banned. UFC fighters related to James Krause are banned. So like, he's done. Like, he's like been completely cut. And of course, yeah, it's pretty extreme. Plus he has a gym. He had a big business. Brandon Moreno, he got quite a lot of guys. So that's all done now. And and we'll see, because Dana White's saying, oh yeah, people can go to jail for this, federal prison, So I don't know what information they have. I don't know how far it goes, but usually in my experience, I see whenever there's an example to be set for the first time offender, they come down pretty hard.
This could be the situation. This could be the guy.
Yeah, and this could change a lot of things too. I still don't know how they're gonna play a role in that, but because it's we're contractors.
In the history of sports, there's always that guy.
There's always that guy. There's always one.
There's always that one fucking
that does it.
Yeah.
And then they come
for baseball. After. Who was it for baseball?
Pete Rose.
Yeah. Pete Rose. Who was?
Yeah. So there's always that guy. So, and I mean, when you're, James.
Even in basketball, I watched one.
The referees.
The referees.
Yep. So like,
crazy,
dude,
bro.
in like the thing is with James Krause, like if he just not made it public knowledge that he literally bets on every single fight and just kept it on the hush hush, probably nothing would have happened. But the fact that he's not, usually what happens is when somebody is successful and making money and like benefiting, that's when the person usually goes, wait a minute, I don't like that. And then that's when shit starts happening. And that's what it seems to be. I remember, I'll give you guys a quick story on James Krause. So I believe it was this year around April, maybe March, they had a PFL show. And it was a pre-recorded PFL show, and the bookies didn't know that, so the results had already happened, and then the betting line had come up for those fights in the evening, so the public didn't know. But who knew? Coaches, fighters, people around the fighters. James Krause had a couple fighters on that card, and from what I understand, James Krause was able to bet on every single fight because he knew the result. And I believe he walked away with 90 grand from that one card. And that was just because I was around and I heard him say it. So I was like, fuck, I wish I'd known that information, because fuck, I would have thrown all kinds of money already knowing it's like having the almanac from fucking Back to the Future. knowing
Yeah.
all the results, bro. You can, you know. So that was when I first was like, okay,
You probably been making a killing, bro.
bro. He said it himself. He says it himself. He's like, when I go and corner my fighters, I make like $2,000 a week. He's like, when I gamble, he's like, I bet every fight. He's like, I make way more. So dude's killing it. I mean, I make money gambling. I make money to live like a
I wonder
comfortable
if he
life.
bets on his fighters to lose.
Maybe he put money on the Chinese guy. You know, that would be a big problem. Big problem.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so they think that's what they're trying to investigate.
Especially if he knew
That he's
his
injured.
fighter was injured.
What if he said to him, look, hey, bro, take this loss. I'll throw 100 G's on it. We'll make 250 G's. And I'll split half down the middle. You only make 25-25 or 20-20. So dude's like, yeah, I'll take an extra 100 to drop in the first. Who wouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, because the UFC is underpaying so many fighters that it gives them that incentive.
Damn, I couldn't do it, bro. I'd be like, I'll take
You're
the
getting
20.
you're getting paid. I mean, but D-Raw worked his way to get paid well, right? He's getting paid well to fight. These guys that are James Krause said it himself. They're getting paid 12 and 12, 14-14, beginning of their contracts.
I think the starting pay is 10-10.
10-10, yeah.
So if it's your first fight in the UFC and you lose,
You get 10, then you got to pay out your manager
And
20%,
managers like
2K.
like 2K.
Then
If
you
you're lucky,
coach.
15.
Yeah,
If
then
you're
your
really,
coach.
really lucky, 10.
Like, let's just take $3,000 away. So you
Yeah.
walk away with 7. Then you also got to pay taxes on that. So who wouldn't? You know what I mean? I've never bet against myself, but I've put money on myself. I've bet on myself.
Yeah.
I would never bet against myself. I have integrity. I'm not
I
gonna
don't
do
know.
that.
That would destroy my whole fight camp. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna bet against myself.
Just in case I lose.
Yeah.
No, you know, and look, you got to look at people in certain situations. I'm sure, like Derek Minner, you know, veteran. He's been in the sport long ass time. He's still not getting paid like how he probably feels like he should be getting paid. Sitting in there having a conversation with James Krause, they're making bank, you know, and then
Yeah,
he's like,
no, bro. And the real fighters over here, fucking, man, getting worked, bro. You know,
"Welcome to."
I'm lucky enough to be able to have worked my way up to what I did because of taking these short notice fights and shit. Like they like that shit, you know.
They do. They want a fighter, and they'll reward you for being a fighter.
But I'm still trying to make enough money to fucking buy a real Rolex, dog. You know.
Yes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that Rolex.
So recently, bro, and you were there, dog. A buddy of mine came across a couple Rolex. I can't say how, or I can't say what, but he just came across it, right? And I'm like, it looked legit. Like it looked, you know, considering what he does. I was like, shit, all right. So I fucking paid him 5 racks. Went to the fucking bar. He brought it down to the fucking to the spot I was at. I had a fucking good ass time and shit. And I had just been, you know, sitting on it for a little bit. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna wait till the right moment and shit. So I went out, got myself a couple new chains and shit, some earrings and shit. I was like, I'm gonna bust out the Rolex, bro. So I fucking showed it on Instagram and fucking I was like, all right, that was cool. And I didn't fucking think about it for a couple days. And days later, motherfucking shit, you know, a bunch of people were like, yo, your shit's fake, bro. I'm like, what do you mean, what? Like, what you mean? Like, I paid $5,000 for this shit, thinking I was getting a good ass deal. I'm like, all right, I'll buy one for 5. You know,
Because I remember when we were because he reached out to me and was like, "Yo, like telling me about this Rolex." I was like, "Fuck, that's sick." And then he's like, "Bro, it's worth like 40 grand."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're getting it for 5?" I'm like, "Damn, that's a good deal," you know.
yeah.
And then
Turned out to not be real, but you know, I was like, fuck, bro.
that sucks. Like that's just a shitty like whack.
Cause I could get them. I could get a solid one for like 7 or 8 because I got hooked up in like the jewelry industry and shit. But the fact that fucking, you know, I had got played like that, I was like, oh man, I got my money back though.
He did get his money back,
Don't
so
trip,
it's all good, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, yeah, I saw the like there's like an Instagram that like calls people out if they've got like fake watches or real watches and stuff.
Yeah.
So you featured
Yeah,
on that.
got me. I was like, I could afford a real watch, man. Don't get it twisted. And shit. It was just.
I mean, it was a great
circumstances.
deal. Yeah. I mean, at that time, you just think you're getting a good deal. It's like an investment piece, you know, because the value of Rolex doesn't go anywhere. It's a
Yeah.
fucking solid piece. But yeah, no, there's nothing worse than getting scammed like that. But at least you got your money back, because yeah. So motherfucker, stop hating on my fool. He didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, dog. No, I got money. I got money.
He got money. You know,
we at the crib. We at my crib right now.
this is his crib.
Yeah.
It's dope. So don't be hating on him. Don't worry, he'll be flexing in 2023.
But back to that, like UFC fighters ain't really making that much money, dog. So I could imagine.
Yeah, the betting side, the scandals that come with it. You know?
I'm gonna be paying close attention to the what happens next.
Yeah,
You know
it'll
what
be
I'm
interesting to
saying?
see how it unfolds.
Yeah, because little by little, shit's gonna start coming out, and I'm
Yeah.
interested to see. They're gonna make a fucking ESPN 30 for 30 on this shit.
No, for sure. There will be. This will be like big for sure. And then I mean, talking controversy, it just seems to be a common theme now that we've got like a month off the UFC. But these last few cards, the judging, I don't know what's been going on with the judging.
That's always been the issue with judging. We've all seen it. You know, a few of us have been a part of it. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just one of those things. Like, especially at this level in the game, you're like, oh, don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Like, dog, this shit ain't easy.
This
dog.
is so high level
We're fighting like the best fucking dudes
on the planet.
best other like fighters in the world and shit. You know, like and then now like I'm fighting like ranked dudes. Like these are like the top elite fucking guys.
Yep.
Like regardless of it's 1 or 15, like everyone's fucking good. You know, and shit. I'm lucky to be in that motherfucker fighting these dudes.
You're not
and
lucky.
shit.
What you talking about? You worked your ass off to be there. Like, you weren't lucky. Like,
True. I work hard and shit. You know.
like that's what it is. It's about putting in the work and just grinding, and you being able to fight regularly on short notice and put on performances. You did it all yourself. And yeah, just judging, like most fans from the outside are like, oh yeah, just go out and don't leave it in the hand of judges, go and finish. So you don't think like every single fight, for the majority, most fighters just want to go out there and put the guy away.
Yeah.
We all want to put him away.
One punch knockout.
For sure. You know, the earlier that is, they're better. No injuries, don't got to deal with no shit, no stress. Just go out there and get the job done. Of course, that would be amazing. But the guy that you're fighting across from you, or the lady that you're fighting across from you, is just as good as you are, who's just put in just as much as work, who just wants it as much as you do. So it's like you can put someone out, punch them a million times, and they're still going to come back like a zombie. Like, that's just how it is sometimes. And,
and
unfortunately, these judges...
That's the case. Like, imagine you, like, giving it your all, and the dude won't stop coming at you, bro. You know, so then...
I've been there.
Yeah, and dude won't stop coming at you, and it's like, fuck, now you got to use your skill and technique and fucking...
It's a mindset, because, like, especially if you're a guy that's, like, go out and just dropped, like, 4 or 5 guys in a row and made it look easy, and then all of a sudden you come into this next guy expecting the same thing, and then he's just there. And then then you're like, what the fuck? And it's just like, it starts messing with you. But at least in my mind, for me personally, I'm never going in there like, oh, I'm trying to knock this guy out in the first round, or I'm trying to knock this... I'm just trying to beat the shit out of this guy from the moment the bell rings to the end.
When I first started fighting, that's what I was thinking, like, I'm gonna fucking knock this guy out. I gotta knock this guy out and shit. But then, like, I couldn't do it like as easy as I used to and shit, you know, because when I first started, I was laying everybody on their fucking backs, bro. Like, you know, now at this level of the game, it's like, all right, like my power and my punches could only get me so far, dog. You know, so I have to like constantly fucking be getting better and learning new shit and new styles and new fucking
adding weapons. And
and just like mixing it up, dog, and literally mastering what I do best and shit, you know, and that's like what's got me here and shit, you know. So
facts.
And the rest is just like shit you gotta fucking learn on the process and through the way, just to like, you know, at this level you have to be fucking top level at everything pretty much, you know.
For sure. I mean, for me personally, in my mind, it's like, to be at this level in this sport, like, it's about the time and like how weathered you are, like how your body can go through like the trials and tribulations of being a fighter, like getting hit, getting hurt, it's just, you got to stay constant and like never like take time off. You just got to, because once you take time off and let your body kind of rest, you get soft. and then it's like even harder to get back from it. So like in my experience, for me mentally, it's like as long as I'm constantly working and like he said, getting better, even if it's like 0.1% in any facet, I'm getting somewhat better. It's only going to be like so much better from a year from now, from 6 months from now, and then your performances will go up, you know. And that's how I felt going into my last fight. I just felt like I had so much experience, and like just being at such a high level for such a long time, training with such good people, I was like, this kid ain't gonna be able to swim with me. Like, I'm gonna make him drown. And
yeah, I mean, you do train with me, dog. You know,
I mean,
that's some
you
of
know,
the best strike you can get. Dog.
facts,
You know what
I mean, this dude's got the fortunate reality of training with one of the best karate guys in the world. So it's like we get to learn from each other. He got some of the, in my opinion, some of the best boxing in the world in MMA at 170 pounds. Like that's my honest truth. And I've boxed and I've trained with some of the highest level guys in the world, and his level is, if not better, and I'm not sugarcoating that. So of course I'm getting such good work, and if I can hang with him, I feel like I can hang with any striker on the planet, and it goes both ways. So it's crazy because we literally beat the shit out of each other, but we get better by doing it. And you know what I mean? And it's like,
it's science.
It's a science, yeah. And it shows, man. Like, we know how to train with each other. We're not trying to break each other. We're just trying to make each other better. So we'll like blast each other in the body, you know. We'll make each other just better, and then
just good old whoop ass.
Just good old whoop ass. And yeah, I mean, fuck, that's just been like the game, you know.
Yep.
And you know, being a fighter ain't easy, bro. Like, as you know,
It ain't easy, dog. You gotta be able to sacrifice
a lot,
dog. You gotta be able to sacrifice time, fucking energy.
The whole reason I got into fighting was like that ability to like travel the world, see the world,
And
compete.
that's like the goal, dog. It's like the game Street Fighter, where he has like a fucking, like in the end, like you beat the game and he fucking has a bag and just walking off and shit, and like going from fucking place to place and
collecting
fighting.
magnets.
Yeah, and fighting the best fucking fighters in the world and shit. And now that's how I see it, because now I'm literally fighting the best fighters in the world and shit, you know. So that's gonna be like my little journey coming soon, is like me moving back to fucking California, and then now I'm gonna be fucking going from gym to gym to gym out here and shit, because now I'm gonna tap in with everybody, because when I was training out here before, I wasn't really like training with everybody. I was just kind of like in my
Staying to your group.
sticking to the group. But like going to Vegas kind of like opened my eyes to training with new people and training with people from around the world and like from everywhere, and just taking that little bit and what works for me and shit in every experience. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that shit, you know. And I'm just fucking need to be doing that shit with, you know, with peace.
For sure.
And I'm not gonna say like, yeah, relationships are tough, dog, but I gotta be hella selfish with me and my time and shit. I got a big family and shit, don't get me wrong, but like this shit requires all of me, dog, you know. And I feel like right now I'm in my prime and shit.
No, I mean that's the next
It makes shit-
3, 4 years, 5 years, however long your body, you know, and you want to keep doing this, that's the most important time.
I'm
Is
thinking like a good like 3, 4, maybe 5 fucking years, dog.
Yeah, so like that window right now has to be fully focused on you just getting better, and there can't be distractions and things like preventing you from getting better.
I don't know.
So
Positivity.
all positive vibes, man. Especially as fighters, we just need to be in a good mindset, ready to go, excited, you know, looking forward to shit. Like going out to Thailand and doing a camp out there at Bangtao will be fucking sick.
Hell
And then,
yeah.
you
Imagine
know,
me coming back after Thailand and shit. I'll be fucking killed.
bro,
dog.
you're gonna go to
Savage.
Thailand and then you're gonna be like, I don't want to leave Thailand. Trust me, bro. The weed's legal there. Like the cost of living is cheap. Like the food is good. You're on the beach. Like you got training. You got fucking everything you need as a fighter. You know. And I lived there for 9 months. And I loved it.
How's the weed out there?
Honestly, bro, like it's literally what we got right in front of us out there now. It's all legal.
They got baby Jeters out there?
They got baby Jeters. They got fucking some Jet Lag OG. They got some Cali OG. Okay, probably not Cali stuff. It's gonna be like called like Bangkok OG or something. But
Some of that Bangkok.
some of that Bangkok and fuck it. But but nah, like it just seems to be really good vibes down there. I see myself like when I'm older, I think I'm probably gonna end up there in Thailand. Like after
we'll be like, look at
you know, kicking it at the beach, doing podcasts and shit. You know what I mean? Drinking a coconut. But But yeah, and just being able to kind of like the cool thing with Asia or being in Asia, everything is kind of like a couple hours away by plane. So you can go to Japan, you can go to Korea, you can go to Hong Kong, you can go to China, you can travel around a bit. So I don't know, man. If that's what you want to do, see the world,
Hell yeah.
no better place to do it than in
We
Thailand.
do podcasts all over the world, bro.
Culture Crooks International,
Yeah.
coming to a country near you.
Yep.
But
So, what's up with Karate Combat? They only do shows in the USA or what? Or is it like a worldwide thing?
no, they're a Hungarian company from Hungary, and they have an office in Miami. And their last 3 or 4 shows have been in Orlando at Universal Studios, which was cool. And they just got licensed in Vegas, so we might be doing some shows in Vegas. But yeah, it seems like now, you know, with COVID like kind of behind us and shit, they're gonna be looking to be doing shit all over. I think, you know, my dream. I hope they want to go out to Japan. That would be like the coolest fucking experience ever. To go fight in Japan. That's like a goal of mine. I've only cornered in Japan. I've never fought in Japan. So that's like on the bucket list. But yeah, I'm waiting to see when their next card is. I think it's like February, March. So I'm just like staying ready and just trying to be in shape for whenever they call. And I know you're also looking for the same kind of date as well.
Yep.
So, you know,
Something
we'll
like
be in like an active camp starting the new year.
February would be cool.
And I think like, you know, now that I've come out to LA and like kind of, you know, seen the way things are here, like I feel like I'm going to be spending time back and forth as well, and him in Vegas and I'm out here. We're going to try to get work in and hopefully link up with some cool guys to train with. Hopefully, you know, share them out with like Tony and get some good work in.
That's for sure. Probably out here training with Tony Ferguson and shit.
Yeah, I'm sure Tony Ferguson will be looking to be fighting this upcoming year as well. So I'm excited. Like I'm excited. I'm happy. That, you know, you're situated. You're back home. You know, you got your family. I just met your kids, and you know, his family's cool, and it was a cool thing. He met my family in New York. I met his family here. So yeah, it's been cool. It's been a good time, and 2022 has been an interesting year.
Yep.
You know?
So ain't no telling where the next episode's gonna be, but we'll definitely, you know, be more consistent with the show. And
I met a fan at Karate Combat who watches our podcast. Shout out to Quan. He was upset that we weren't putting out more episodes. So he's obviously enjoying the show, enjoying the content. So it is definitely something that we're trying to be more, obviously with the logistics of him moving and then, you know, his stuff going on, and in my fight, it was just kind of a lot going on. But now, obviously the new year, we just busted out this episode. So once the new year rolls around, we're going to be trying to at least get a couple a month, you know. And
we're back up in it, dog. And definitely a lot of shit to be talking about. You know, it's going to be busy, you know.
For sure. A lot of exciting things, a lot of...
You know how it is. New year, new me. You know, it's Christmas coming up. So Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
If you don't hear from us before then. And Happy New Year. Yeah, my birthday's
31st.
December 31st, bro. It's going to be a fucking dope-ass party.
New Year's Eve birthday.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's going to be getting after it. I'm going to be in Canada. I'm leaving tonight. I'm flying to Vegas. I'll be in Vegas a couple hours, and then I'm getting on a flight to Canada. Go see my family and my mom, my sister, my aunts and stuff. I'm going to go out there. It's going to be freezing as fuck, but it'll be cool. I haven't had Christmas with my family in, like, a super long time. Like, I'm talking, like, 10 years. Like, I haven't had, like, a family Christmas. I'm always, like, been solo. Yeah, solo dolo. It's just been doing my thing. So
my family's deep, bro.
I know. He got a big family. A big family for sure. Our family is scattered. We're all over the world, so it's hard for us all to come together at the same time. You know, especially as a fighter, you just our life, our schedule is so like unpredictable. Yeah. So it's gonna be nice to have Christmas with my family. I'm looking forward to it. Get out in the snow, and then I'll be back in Vegas on the 1st, and right back into it. Get right back into practice, right back into training.
I'll be out here in Palmdale, and then we'll fucking.
He'll be hungover as fuck on the 1st.
Yep.
And then I'll probably try to come out first week of January or something. And we'll start training out in LA.
But, hey, major shout out. Yesterday went out to fucking Hollywood.
That's
went
true.
to Super Rare Fight Goods. Hooked me up with some dope ass gloves. Can't wait to use them in the garage and shit. Shout out to Monster, motherfucking Natural Effects CBD.
Yep.
And these bomb ass Baby Jeters, bro.
I love the Baby Jeters.
These shits are fire.
Who makes these?
Yeah, these are my favorite. I was smoking a fucking King Palm with some LA Kush.
They're like
Got gelato.
so perfect. They're small. Look at that. Premium indoor flower infused with liquid diamonds and keef. Like,
It's for
couldn't
good
ask
eating
for
and
anything
smoke.
else. It's perfect. So shout out. More companies need to make these shits and just sponsor them, give them to us for free. But
Yeah.
thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace out.